Good morning, everybody. Jeremy Sutton, owner of Servant PT, host of the Servant PT podcast. Sitting here with my morning coffee. Go dogs. I help women 50 and over live a life full of health, family, and fun. Today we're going to talk about connecting to people. Sorry, a mosquito just flew by my head. This morning we're going to talk about, connecting to people, how important it is, how you can do it, and why it's so important. Yesterday, this week has been a long week at my house. Last week was a long week. My wife had viral bronchitis. My little girl didn't feel all that great. And so, and then I have a 4-year-old son, so he didn't help things any, but we just had a long week last week. And then last weekend was my birthday, and I wasn't feeling well on Sunday. And so that long week just kind of spilled into this week. And before you know it, it's, Wednesday, yesterday, it's trick-or-treating, and my wife and I get home, and it's like the first conversation we've had all week. And, some people may not understand that. If you're married, if you have kids, you understand it. I didn't understand it until I had kids. But we really didn't have a whole lot of conversations, if any, until yesterday. And so we actually got to sit down and talk and, watch TV together, have a conversation, eat a little bit together. We just had a good time and spent some time together. And this morning we're like, oh, it's nice to finally connect for the week. And it got me thinking this morning how important it is to connect to other people throughout the day. We go through life, and probably we have a lot of friends, which are really more like acquaintances. And then at work, if you're a Ron Swanson fan, then their workplace proximity acquaintances. But anyway, we have a lot of acquaintances, we have a lot of friends, but how deep of a friendship do we have? How deep of a relationship do we have with those people? I would say a lot of times our relationships are really pretty shallow. Not maybe not on purpose, but maybe because it's not on purpose. We're not trying to spend more time getting to know someone. We're not trying to spend time getting to know why they are who they are or why they do what they do. And I'm not saying it's really our fault. We're busy. People are busy working. People are busy raising a family, whatever else they're doing. And sometimes we just don't have time to spend getting to know other people. And so it is our fault, but it's really not. But what I found is, in my experience, the more time you spend getting to know people, and I didn't figure this out. This is, this is already known by, hopefully, I'm sure, millions upon millions of people. But the more time we spend getting to know people, the better it is, and the deeper our relationships are, and the easier it is to serve people, the easier it is to treat people in the physical therapy realm. And by treating, I still mean serve. The easier it is to treat or to serve clients or customers or whatever, the easier it is to serve your family. Excuse me. So yesterday, sorry, can't get my throat to cooperate. So yesterday, had one of my people come by that I've treated here before, and haven't seen him in probably 2 or 3 months. And I'm sitting here and doing some paperwork, and he walks in. He's got donuts in his hand. Brought me and Renee a donut, and we just sat here and talked for. Yesterday was an abnormally strange morning. I had about 30 minutes where we didn't have anybody, and so I sat down and we talked for 30 minutes. Talked about his grandson who lives in California, who's a minister and a newlywed, which is a volatile combination. We talked about his wife who had been ill, and we talked about their 50 or 60th wedding anniversary that they had in the summer that we were unable to go to because, again, my wife and kids were sick, and I think I might have been sick then too. But we had that deeper connection. So it wasn't just a patient physical therapist. It was, two people that had connected and had formed a friendship. And so because we had connected on a deeper level and we had formed a friendship, then I knew his grandson's name. I knew what was going on in his life. I knew about the anniversary dinner, the illnesses and the struggles and things like that had been going on. And so I was able to sit there and ask him about those things. And because I don't work somewhere where I have to see 40 or 50 people every day, like some therapists do in different places, I remember my people when they come in. And I used to be horrible with names, and I'm still not great, but because I'm not running 40, 50 people in through here each day, it's easier to remember people's names, and it's easier to sit and talk to them and ask them questions about their family and show that I really care and build those relationships. So, he comes in, we were able to talk 30 minutes. He knows about my wife and kids. I know about his wife and kids and grandkids and great-grandkids and all this stuff. And so he just had a nice, meaningful conversation for 30 minutes. And it was nice. It's a whole lot nicer than when I was having to see, a lot of people and having to basically just get things done. And, when I was working for other people, I would just go and I still loved, I still enjoyed physical therapy. I didn't always enjoy the different places I worked. I did most of them, but, it was you're going somewhere to do a job, to get money, to support your family or your life or whatever. But now as a business owner and somebody completely bought into my business, bought into the community here, bought into serving people, I get to connect on such a deeper level and be there with them and get to know everybody so much better. And it's just really rewarding to connect with people in that way. And so I just want to encourage you is, if you feel like you're always kind of trying to do that thing, good morning, thank you so much. So if you feel like you're always trying to do that and, connect with people and maybe you feel like it's not being reciprocated, nobody's giving that back to you or whatever, just hang in there and keep doing it, because it really makes a difference when people, it makes a difference when people do that to me. And I've seen the difference that it's made since I've really, started caring about building relationships with other people and getting invested in other people's lives. I've really just seen the difference that it's made, not only in my personal life, but in my business, in my family, in ministry, and everything is really when you start to get those deeper relationships. And the funny thing is when I was younger, I would have thought I had to be less of myself and more, not really fake, but just kind of tone down a little bit who I am and things like that. But what I found is over the last couple of years that I've gotten a whole lot more comfortable with who I am in every aspect, my struggles, my victories, everything about me I've gotten more comfortable about. And as I've gotten more comfortable with myself and more honest with other people about who I am and how I do things, those relationships have gotten even deeper and deeper, and people respond a lot better because there's no paint on my face anymore. There's no mask. It's just 99.9% of the time, it's just who I am all the time. And, I really try to not have a work Jeremy and a home Jeremy and a church Jeremy. I try to make all three of those people the same person. Now, when you do that, it gets a little, church Jeremy becomes more like home Jeremy, and home Jeremy becomes more like work Jeremy, and work Jeremy becomes more like church. And so you start to meld all three of those personas of who you want people to think you are at different places. And, church Jeremy might get a little bit more edgy. Work Jeremy might get a little bit more ministry. But it starts to all be who you really are and not being somebody different in each place, which I think a lot of us might do. And it really, I don't have to keep up with where I am anymore and who I'm trying to be. It's just me all the time. So it's really been life-changing for me, and it's really been helpful for building relationships and connecting with people on a deeper level. So I just encourage you to just try to do that this week, and just tell somebody how awesome they are. Tell somebody how much you appreciate them, how much you love them. Show somebody appreciation this week, and really just help change somebody's day and week by being nice to them and encouraging them. So, guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.